What's up, everyone? So, back to work. It's happy Monday. I had a pretty slow week or two as some houses were going on the market, blah, blah, blah. And, of course, I wasn't slow myself. I was doing bids and estimates and this kind of stuff and getting the wife's car ready to sell. That thing's a pit. Like, I think a normal detailing goes for about, I don't know, $180, $200 these days. That one they would have charged her more for. Like, when you see them like detailing gurus on YouTube, like they would have been on the show. Just the thing's just trashed. Anyways, I got all done. It's looking all pretty, and she just wants something bigger. I think she's gonna get a minivan. You can't, if unless you're going big van or truck, like you can't go wrong with a minivan. You can do anything in a minivan. I work out of my minivan, do family stuff out of my minivan. If I need to move a couch or something, I just drop the seats in stow and go and slap it in the minivan. You want to grab a bike or something, throw in the minivan. Like, you can't just do that with other vehicles. Even the SUVs and stuff, they look bigger, but like there's just not quite that much cubic feet. Anyways, started up work. Sorry, I'm driving here. Hope it doesn't mess up the audio. It's on the rough side of town, where the roads will let you know something is loose. But, and speaking of the rough side of town, I was at one of our rentals, not my rental, my real estate guy's rentals, doing a transition. The renters are moving out. But this place is in the hood. And, I remember one day I think I was doing yard work, something outside, doing the gutters or something. I was going to my van, side of the road. And I walked down to the sidewalk, walked to my van, opened up the door, and I'm messing with something. I think I was having a smoke or something. I look around, whatever, I'm just alone. And then, like, out of nowhere, I don't know how these crackheads do it, but they kind of pop out of nowhere on you. And this chick, she kind of like pretended like she was running, and she's like, they're looking for me. It was total, I think she was more of a heroin addict, but definitely had belonged to the streets for quite a while. And her pimp probably did send her. I couldn't see them. They were always lurking somewhere. And she like comes up to me like, don't let them see me. And she like jumps into the back seat of my van. Oh, we got weird cars going. Okay. She like jumps into the back seat of my van. In these little Daisy Duke shorts. And I mean, she's kind of pretty for a crackhead, but I think it was a white Latina girl. And she's like just chilling in there. And then, of course, she starts looking through what I got, sees that I got smokes, wants one. It was a hot day. Then she wanted some of my water. I'm like, you can have that. And just kind of hanging out. Like, obviously, she was going to be like, do you want to take me for a ride? And once upon a time, back in the day, which is kind of sick, I probably would have. Even with that, the sad thing was you could tell she had a good soul. She'd just been, her flesh had been gone though. Her flesh had been living in sin for quite a long time. And then she got real trippy on me. Because I don't know if I had a cross necklace on or what, but like, or just my aura was with Yeshua that day or whatever it was. She's like, you're different, aren't you? And not just because I didn't sleep with her. She's like, and she was talking all weird too. And she's just like, you're different, aren't you? Like, you're not scared. You're not, wanting to get a BJ or something. And then she's like, starts looking at me, and she's like, what did she say? It was like her ex-boyfriend's name. She's like, Brad, are you in there? I keep seeing him everywhere. And I'm just like, it was just really trippy. And then she finally went on her way. But yeah, everything, the hood's a trip. I used to live in the hood. I used to kind of live everywhere. Nice neighborhoods, crappy neighborhoods. Lived in Florida for a while. Middle, I've been all around. All sorts of characters. Come on, dude, are you gonna go or not? Sorry. Oh, there's a lady walking. Good thing you didn't hit that little old lady. Hold on, I got people. That girl was wearing like nothing. What the hell? This is still the hood. I'm not racist or anything, but I'm real careful when black people are near the street. But they do hop out at you like deer. I don't know what it is. They hop out, but yet they walk slower than a turtle. It's kind of weird. Anyways, what was even my main point of recording today? Oh yeah, I got interrupted last time. Wife called in the middle of recording something, and I was on kind of just a random rant. I wasn't doing a very good job of swaying people over to a lifestyle of following the teachings of Jesus, because I was saying something like, the devil will attack you some more. He doesn't need to attack you when you're living in sin. You're doing it all on your own. He's like, whatever, he's got it. But when you start trying to do good things, you can call it coincidences. I don't. I know when I'm praying hard and when I'm doing some real good stuff and just being in my Jesus, weird shit starts happening. The people around you start, you can tell who's around you when you start doing that stuff. You gotta glow to some people, like they'll just stare at you, and some people will just repel away from you, or some people just want to, like a family member who's naturally living in their sin, just wants to start fights for no reason. Like, you can just see it. You can see it clear as day. I can't explain it. You're just like, yep. And then talking about trying to persuade, how do you persuade someone in early recovery or who's still using to go to the other side? And this, I even just listened to a quick clip on someone talking about it, and I think he kind of put it how I was trying to put it last time. Because you can't describe it to somebody because you're in a different world. You really are. When I was trying to describe it last time, I was talking about, like, I don't get joy from the same things now that I would have back then, and vice versa. It's just two totally different things. Super hard to describe. But what I wanted to really say, the feeling that you get, even though you got all these kind of rules and teachings to be good by, the feeling you get is actually freedom. You don't know what freedom is until you've kicked addiction. And it's not, and it should, especially if you're following the teachings, it really should lead you down to other freedoms, like, suppose, depending on which channel I'm on right now, freedom, I just totally took the wrong turn. Freedoms from societal controls and whatnot. You know what I mean? Things you didn't even know were binding you down. It doesn't just stop with, oh, I don't have to use drugs anymore to get by. It gets deeper and deeper and deeper. It's freedom from the ropes of sin. There's no better feeling. And yeah, there's some rules to follow. And yeah, the devil does not like it when you escape. And yeah, he'll throw arrows at you left and right. The funny thing is, though, is these arrows don't affect you the way they used to. And you'll notice that as you are recovered longer, in the beginning, the temptations are like, oh my God, fucking the wind blew west, now I want to drink. And you'll see as you take care of yourself more and more, rely on God for things more and more, like little things don't piss you off as much because you just give them to the universe. Even if someone totally did you wrong, I just had a situation, and she just reminded me of it, where we had this family members all jacked up from her parents and other family members. And she ended up living with us. We bought her a phone. Long story short, these parents that were just such a highly prestigious Ugandan community, family and parents, decided they're just going to jack the phone that we bought her. Still paying for it. And, because it's a 16-year-old girl, she gotta have a phone. They were trying to take her phones away from her, like, oh, it's the phone's fault. I'm like, yeah, and it's the spoon's fault that you got fat, like, whatever. And but she was texting me or something. She's like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get that phone back. I'm like, don't worry about it. Some things you just gotta let God handle, and he already is handling them. I know the secrets of that family, and they're not doing that good, but it is the type of family who runs around all clean shaven with bow ties and smiles and whoop-de-woo, and yet their whole shit is just not good. But whatever. I was taking the super long way home. Okay, thank you. Anyways, but yeah, even to describe it to early recovery, you're gonna find pleasure in different things, and why not? Why not? See, here's the cool thing, especially if you're an addict. Guess what? All these pleasurable things, sleeping around, doing drugs, going to parties, you already done that. It ain't nothing new. No surprises there, except for maybe a Dewey or jail. Maybe you get lucky one night. Maybe you don't. You get the HIV or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've already been there, done that. There's only so many bars and drinks you can have. Only so many hits and withdrawals you can take. To where, isn't this boring yet? You know what I'm saying? Like, why not try the normal life? Now, the normal life is work. And it's work, it's maintenance, and it's super selfless. That's a hard one for anybody to wrap their head around, being selfless, living and serving others. I just watched some blonde Karen lady go on a little rant of why would I want kids, and she went and like described her day, like her idea of living the life that she's doing. Like, it's out with the girls last night, and taking a walk with my dog, and I'm gonna go have brunch and go out again tonight. Beer, and all this like no responsibilities except for myself, self. I'm like, cool. Please don't have kids. Please don't. That's the type of person who's gonna get knocked up some night. She forgot her diaphragm. And then she's gonna be like, oh, now I gotta learn how to be a selfless person instead of a selfish person. Like in 9 months. And that's not easy to do sometimes. Some people try to do both. I'm gonna have a kid and stay the same. Dude, a kid will change your life. It should change your life drastically. You're creating a whole nother being. It's a whole nother world, and it's connected to yours. You're connected to it. And I don't get why people think, because people get so stuck in their adult ways or thinking that they're, dude, if you're afraid of missing the party, especially if you have children, dude, if you raise them halfway decent and don't just put them in a little box somewhere, dude, kids are party animals. They're party animals. They do all the same shit that adults do when they're partying. They puke. They love drinking juice. They love to dance at the drop of a hat. They love to scream and party and go woo, woo, woo. They love going all crazy. They fall over. They hurt themselves. Dude, and they with no drugs, they're just like that. At least my kids are. And when they get around their cousins, they're just nuts. A little girl just had a birthday party, 6 years old. And we've been doing so many things lately, and a lot of people were sick. We ended up like switching it from a bowling night to like, we're just going to the community center where we always do. The only ones who aren't sick have a membership there. There's a couple of the cousins. They'll get a pizza there and bring some cupcakes. They didn't give a fuck. There was their friends there, their cousins, and they were off the heezy. So you're like, oh, they don't party like you like to? Because you don't have to be selfish and like do sin all night? And then wake up and try to shake off the poison and the regret and it's just I don't get it. But you have to kind of experience it. You have to kind of give it a go. There's a lot of work, yeah. There's a lot of worry, stress, yeah, it can be. But it can not be, too. Depending on how much dependence you give to God. You know what I'm saying? It can not be that bad. My life is way less anxiety-ridden. And I got way more problems before my one problem was getting high. It seems pretty simple, right? I got a really complicated life right now. But it flows pretty good. I have some, days where I'm like, whatever, losing it. But at least it's not a week of losing it. I don't know, man. You can't describe it to someone in early recovery. But I think my main point is don't think you get to just quit your drug and keep all the other stuff. You are rebuilding. You got to accept that part. You're going to rebuild a whole new life. Some people are going to have to go. New ones are going to come in. Many will change just because you changed. It's just a bunch of change. You should be excited for it, actually. But in the beginning, it is double rough. Like, you're dealing with legal stuff sometimes and just the wrath of the trail of shit you just left. And you got to clean that shit up. It's a good crash course, though. Pushing through that extra stress, but doing it while sober. It's a good crash course. And then when it's done, then you're more prepared to enjoy the new joys. And you're in a new world. And it's a good one. And you get to actually do more good. Not all addicts do bad things. I mean, usually it's just to ourselves. And then it sometimes gets to a point where we think it's just, I'm just hurting myself. When you don't notice until you come out of it and start loving yourself and other people that, oh, there are people out here who love me so much that even if they didn't see me for a year and they knew I was destroying myself, that hurts them. And it does. And they're helpless. It's traumatizing. They have someone that they love, blood or not, connected to. And that's what trauma is. When something bad is happening and you have no control over it. It's a loss of power. Right? And that's why I try to talk to the friends and family here too. Like, there's a lot that you can learn if you do get the chance. At least you might have something to say instead of go see a doctor. Like, how nice would that be if someday your addict's son or daughter or a cousin or a brother said, dude, I've had enough. Like, I don't know what is going on. And, like, how hard is this going to be? What do I even do? If you got something more than, say, go to treatment, because more than likely they've been there a couple times and it didn't work. And it's not because they didn't work it. You know what I'm saying? They probably gave it a halfway decent go. Or just didn't know what it was going to be like going through there. And when they got to the point where they changed their mind, there's nobody there to tell them why. Because there's a reason why. And when you know the reason why, it actually lets you change your mind back. Because it's way less anxiety-riddled or fearful. Because you know what's going on. So, like, usually somebody will make the choice when they're still got some shit in them or whatever, and they'll want to change their mind after they get in the door. Yeah, wouldn't it be nice to actually have some decent information about it? Like, to say, hey, yeah, this is what's going on. This won't be that bad. We can get you into treatment. This is how your body heals. It'll be effective. There is hope, not in just hope because everybody says hope, but the statistics totally suck. Hope as in, this is actually how it works. This is how, there is a plan to actually get it done, and it's not just to send you away to some professional. Not that they do bad work, they're limited, they can't do everything. Like, medically, I can't talk about all the different areas of health I talk about. What do you have a degree in? There's my wife calling again.